The Boston Red Sox may be in a position to conduct a generational heist against the Pittsburgh Pirates and one of the best players in all of baseball. I'm here to break down how Jeff Passan, going on the Pat McAfee show, has started an absolutely never-ending saga of conversation surrounding Paul Skenes and the likelihood of him being traded from the Pittsburgh Pirates as early as this season. I'm here to break down how the Boston Red Sox should be frontrunners if Skenes was available and what this would mean going forward for both organizations. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Red Sox Digest. But first, before we get to the news and information, please do remember to subscribe to the channel, as nearly 90% of you guys watching this video are not currently subscribed. We do appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys. But now let's get to it and break down if there's really a chance of Paul Skenes landing in Boston. Now, Paul Skenes, up to this point in his 2-year career, has been simply phenomenal, and there's no way around that. Last year, it didn't seem like he was. It seemed like he was still in college based off the numbers he was putting up in Pittsburgh. Absolutely dominance on the mound, and it was kind of obvious. He came out of LSU, and from the start all the way until the finish, he was simply gross, and there's really no way around it. And up to this point in the year, he is once again gross, and it doesn't matter if he's pitching against the Phillies, the Diamondbacks. It doesn't matter. He's going to compete. He's going to be performing at a very high level regardless of the team he is facing off against. And up to this point in the year, as a fan of baseball, if you have not witnessed Paul Skenes yet, you're missing out because, again, like I mentioned earlier, the Phillies, the Dodgers, it doesn't matter. The Diamondbacks, he's going to go out on that mound, and despite not having a whole lot of run support from a Pittsburgh Pirates team, he's going to go out there and absolutely shove. And he has done that a lot this year. Based off this Baseball Savant page, you can tell he's pretty damn good when it comes to the overall percentiles, ranking amongst other starting pitchers in the MLB, ranking in the top percentiles of fastball velo, expected batting average, expected WOBA, things like the barrel percentage, as well as even the ground ball rate. Paul Skenes is absolutely dominating it. And it's no surprise. If you turn on the baseball games and you actually watch him log 6, 7, even 8 innings of work, there is no surprise why the Pittsburgh Pirates last year called him up as early as they did and gave him the keys to flat out dominate for all of last year. And it seems like he's going to dominate for the next 10 plus years in the MLB. Now, the question is going to be, is it going to be for the Pittsburgh Pirates? Well, seems like Jeff Passan doesn't believe so. And Jeff Passan also went on Pat McAfee, and he had a bunch of conversations about the game of baseball where Paul Skenes inevitably came up, because obviously McAfee and the rest of the crew from on the McAfee show are dominantly from Pittsburgh, and they have this conversation about Pittsburgh sports, how they love the idea that Pittsburgh sports are going to be good. And again, they're not. The Pittsburgh Pirates are not very good at baseball. The offensive production that they are getting is at the bottom of the barrel, if you will. Now, if you look at their starting rotation and the pieces that they have available currently, with the available pieces on the rise like Jared Jones and Bubba Chandler, as well as Paul Skenes, they might have a very, very good three-headed monster in that starting rotation. But outside of that, are they going to be able to be competitive? Most likely not. You have Andrew McCutchen being one of the better offensive players on the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's 41 years old. He's been in the game of baseball for as long as I've been alive. He cannot be your cornerstone to your offense at this point in his career. Don't get me wrong. Veteran leadership, overall leadership in the sense of around the clubhouse, as well as just leading by example on the diamond. Andrew McCutchen is probably one of the top guys you would want on your roster. But to be an everyday starter and to be a substantial piece to your actual organization in the sense of offensive production, I'm not sure if that's really the route the Pirates should be going right now, in the sense of probably resetting, going and looking for younger pieces to reset their franchise. So Paul Skenes will want to stay in Pittsburgh and want to continue that career in Pittsburgh. Now, it shouldn't be a surprise. The Pirates up to this point have simply not been good, but this is where the Passan quote really comes from. The fact that the Pirates organization has been the way it has been up to this point, and the fact that Paul Skenes has been so damn good up to this point, and the Pirates have him under control for 5 more seasons before he reaches free agency. Now, the reason that is so important and so impactful is because if the Pirates decide to hold on to him and Paul Skenes continues to produce at the level in which he has and up to this point in his career, which again is only 2 years, a year and a half really, he's going to demand so much money in free agency that the Pittsburgh Pirates physically might not be able to spend and pay all of the money directly to him because it's one individual asset. If you guys don't know, I'm not sure if I have it currently. I am not going to have it up. I apologize. But the total roster value of the Pittsburgh Pirates right now is 89 and some change. $89 million and some change. That's not a lot. Like, the Dodgers have 2 players that are worth $1 billion. And they have $89 million total on their entire roster. Paul Skenes is going to get more than that. Like, every 2 years, he's going to get more than 89. Like, Bregman right now for the Red Sox is getting 40 a year. Paul Skenes is going to demand so much money. And this is off of Sports Track. Again, these are it's filtered by starting pitcher, so you do not have to try to filter in the different names and stuff like that. Just look at the overall values of these contracts, and then you look at the AAV. Obviously, Yamamoto is the highest paid at $325 million. I apologize, the font is extremely small. His AAV is $27 million, just for this one player. Now, am I saying Paul Skenes is going to get $27 to $30 million a year? No, I'm not saying that yet. But there is a chance that a bidder goes out there and gives him all the money possible. Because, again, if he does make it in 5 years to free agency, and it's like it doesn't play out the way Vladimir Guerrero did, in the sense that the Blue Jays were smart. They went out and they paid him all the money he wanted, regardless of the signing bonus size, regardless of the AAV, regardless of the total years. They were smart. They said, F it. Here's all the money you want. Back up the brink truck right to his back door and unload it. Because if we let this wait and Vladimir Guerrero touches the open market and he can allow a bidding war to commence amongst Boston, New York, LA, Toronto, Cleveland, all of these teams that were going to be in on Vladimir Guerrero Jr., his price would have tripled, just like Juan Soto. If the Yankees, or if a team would have came out before he went to free agency, it would have been the Yankees, said, here's $550 million with a $350 million bonus. There's a good chance they could probably land Soto before he gets to the free agency market. Or maybe it is a bit steeper because Soto and his agent they understand their value and they understand the bidding war process and really what that is going to cause and the effect of that. But you have to get ahead of this if you're the Pirates. If you allow Skenes to hit the open market, he is going to cause a bidding war, and you have no chance of re-signing him. Not only because your organization is horrible, and you haven't done anything to improve your the offensive side of your offense in this organization. And outside of Jared Jones and Bubba Chandler and Paul Skenes, and again, Chandler has a little bit ways to go before he's an MLB starter. But obviously, Jared Jones has been in and off of the injury report, really hasn't been all that consistent. Skenes has really been the lone guy for the Pirates organization, it feels like, that has been the model of consistency and someone that is a bright point for this organization. And because of that, should he want to get out of Pittsburgh, he's an ultra competitor. We know he wants to win. We saw it at LSU. We've seen it in the early stages of his MLB career for the Pirates. And now he's signed up for WBC because he wants to be on a competitive stage with other elite level players. If the Pirates don't go out there and offer him a substantial number they haven't offered anyone in 100 years to take care of him for the rest of his career and just try to overwhelm him with the amount of money they're going to give him, there's no way and no doubt in my mind he doesn't hit free agency in the next 5 years, if not traded beforehand, if the Pirates are smart, and he's going to get paid a king's ransom because of the overall bidding value that is going to happen. Now, a few things we have to break down. Overall, the starting rotation as of now for the Red Sox, 4 guys: Garrett Crochet, Giolito, Bello, and Dobbins, and that looks the way it does because of the IL looking this way. Buehler, Crawford, Fitz, Houck, Murphy, and Sandoval all are still on the IL, either still on the IL or just placed on the IL. It's going to be interesting to see when all of these guys return, but because of the amount of players on the IL, you can question the depth of the Red Sox starting rotation right now. Obviously, the bullpen looked good yesterday against the New York Mets, but how far is the 4-man rotation really going to take us until these guys return? Buehler should be back pretty soon. Crawford and Fitz should both be back pretty soon as well. Sandoval and Houck, again, are going to miss a little bit more time until their return. And this is just an interesting concept. The idea that Skenes could be on the move. There's going to be a lot of big name teams in the market for him. It's going to be interesting to see what it takes in the idea of to reset the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. Now, they haven't had the greatest franchise success overall. So the idea that it could be a discounted price because, well, they're just not running their organization correctly is a possibility. Now, would I bet on it? Absolutely not. But I would not give up Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer in a package together for one in Paul Skenes. Yes, Paul Skenes is Paul Skenes, but to reset and give up two players that could be a part of this Red Sox organization, not only for the next 10 years, but possibly even the next 15 to 20, I think is too steep of a number for the Red Sox to give up in order to go out and get someone like Paul Skenes, who's one Tommy John injury away from missing at least a year and a half and then full rehabbing and possibly coming back to not be the same pitcher they once traded for. I think this is going to be a very interesting dilemma for the Pittsburgh Pirates because, well, he maintains so much value. Now, the last thing we're going to close out with is this, and this is something that we've really already said just in different words. We're just going to use the exact quote from Jeff Passan on the Pat McAfee show, rather. So this is in the midst of his conversation with McAfee discussing the Paul Skenes idea and really why Skenes shouldn't want to sign with the Pittsburgh Pirates and why the Pirates should look to trade him. So again, this is a quote directly from Jeff Passan. What incentives does Paul Skenes have to extend with the Pirates when the Pirates haven't shown the willingness from either Bob Nutting all the way down the ability to bring in guys who are going to make this team better? The Pirates haven't shown that they are worthy of a Paul Skenes extension at this point. And again, that is a direct quote from Jeff Passan from the Pat McAfee show. This is a screenshot from it where they're discussing it, and he's right. He's 100% right. The Pirates haven't really done anything to improve this roster in any dramatic fashion in order to win some games behind Paul Skenes. Paul Skenes went 8 innings, just his last start, I believe it was 3 days ago, against the Philadelphia Phillies, who are a very credible baseball team. And they lost 1-0. The Pirates lost 1-0 to the Phillies. Skenes went 8 innings. He gave up 1 run, and they lost. He's dominant, and there's no help there offensively. Imagine this kid in Boston. Oh my God. Duran, Devers, Bregman, Wilyer Abreu. The run support would be astronomical. It's like when Garrett Crochet gets run support, just coming from the right-handed side. I love this idea. And honestly, if you want to start packaging a few of these prospects without packaging 1 and 2 together, I'm more than okay with having this conversation. There's a way we can not give up Hunter Dobbins as well. I think we call Pittsburgh. Just ask, hey, are you guys actually thinking about this? Is this something serious? He's probably going to walk in 5 years. Would you like to trade him now for a lot of value and reset your franchise? Just call and find out. Just play phone tag for a little bit and see what the Pirates are actually thinking on this entire idea. Because this could be a generational heist for the Boston Red Sox. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.